Welcome back to RIA'S World of Ideas. If you are new to my channel, I am Ria, and on my channel I love sharing all the ideas that I find helpful in my life and home, and hopefully you'll find them helpful in your life and home as well. So if you're not a subscriber already, don't forget to hit that subscribe button before you leave this video, and also don't forget to hit the notification bell so that you're always notified on all the new videos that I put out. And if you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up to let me know that you enjoyed it so that I'm able to bring more videos to you guys in the future that you guys would like. So with all that being said, let's just jump into today's video. And today's video is a get ready for the week with me video. And if you guys have been following me for a while, you guys know that on Sunday, I always prep for the week ahead so that I have more time throughout the week to spend with my family. And one of the things that I do that saves me so much time is meal prepping. I meal prep as much as I can on Sunday night of all the meals that we're gonna have this week. So that way it saves me time in the kitchen, you know, cooking and preparing from scratch every night. And it also saves me time because I'm not washing big dishes every night. I do everything today with all the big dishes and all the big, appliances today, then do a big cleanup today. And then that way it saves me time throughout the week. So that just helps me so much when I used to go to work and now I work from home. It's the same thing. Even working from home, it saves me a lot of time. So today's video, I'm gonna give you guys some meal ideas that I'm gonna be serving my family, but also I'm gonna give you guys some healthier meal prep options that I'm making for myself because I started working out last week again. I used to work out all the time and I just slacked off a lot lately, having to do with, going through the COVID time. It kind of put a lot of people in depressions and unmotivated, and it certainly did that for me. And so I haven't been working out like I used to, and I started back last week and I feel so good. And so I kind of want to make some healthier meal prep meals for just me than what my family's eating, just to prep my body to get me like a little boost of energy to start off, my fitness journey again. Normally I don't diet. I just basically watch what I eat. I make the same meals for everybody, and I just, do portion controls, and I switch out healthier options when it comes to like the meal plans that I do with my family. And normally I do that, but I just wanted to give myself a boost this week. And so the reason why I say that I'm gonna share with you guys healthier meal prep option is because I don't totally do like a whole like healthy like meal prep. Like, I am not a nutritionist. I don't know like all the things that you need to have and stuff like that. But what I like to do for me to eat, to eat healthier is I like to swap out things. So the things that you'll see me make in my meal prep is that I'm swapping them out for stuff that might be more higher in calorie, more higher in fat, and I'm swiping it out for healthier options. It still might not be the best, healthiest option, because I know some people might be like, this is not healthy, or this is not as healthy. It's probably not the best, but it's healthier than what it would have been if I would have made it the correct way, if that makes sense. So you will get, like I said, you will get family meal ideas today. You will get some healthier meal prep options today. And of course, I'm going to clean up at the end of this video because it's a one big cleanup, so you get some cleaning motivation. So an overview of what we're gonna have for the menu this week. And I have all the recipes that I'm gonna be sharing with you guys in this video. I will put the links down below in the description box. So there are recipes. The only thing that I've made from scratch myself is my meatloaf, and I will share with you guys in the video step by step on how I prepare my meatloaf. But everything else is a recipe that I found online. Again, I will link it down below. And I am altering some of them just to make it a healthier meal prep. So on Sunday, which is today, I always like to do a slow cooker meal because it is my get ready for the week day. So I'm really busy that day. So I always like to have a slow cooker meal in my slow cooker meal for Sunday nights because I could just throw in the crock pot. It could slowly cook all day while I'm prepping everything else for the rest of the week and getting things done. So tonight we're gonna have slow cooker teriyaki chicken. This is an easy recipe to follow. I love it. My family loves it. It's a crowd pleaser. Every time I serve it for guests, people love it. And the good thing about this is I'm going to have it for my family tonight with just white rice. But then for me, for my prep meals, it's gonna be, I'm gonna have it with brown rice, and then I'm gonna also add broccoli to mine. So that's how I'm making it a healthier option. It still has the brown sugar and all that stuff, which makes it not that healthy. But like I said, I'm having brown rice instead of rice, and I'm having broccoli with it to make it a healthier option for me. So it's better than, not doing nothing at all. And then Monday is always my make it, bake it Mondays, where I will prepare something, assemble it on Sunday and bake it off in the oven on Monday. So I'm going to make barbecue bacon meatloaf for my family, which is a family favorite. It's also something I really don't enjoy. I really am not a meatloaf person, but my family is. So they're gonna have meatloaf, and what I'm gonna have is I found a recipe for meatball stroganoff, and it sounds so good. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take that meatball stroganoff, and then I'm going to substitute different things. So instead of beef, I'm gonna use turkey. Instead of beef stock, I'm gonna use chicken stock. And then with the flour, you can do almond flour, but I think almond flour is just too expensive, and so I'm not gonna do that. And then they also have sour cream, and I could have substituted that for Greek yogurt, but I have sour cream in my refrigerator, and I don't want to waste money, so I'm gonna do it like that, you know, just have it like that. But the egg noodles are always like a healthier option too, so like I said, I'm gonna make it a little bit healthier, and that's gonna be my meal prep. And then come Tuesday, we're gonna have spaghetti with sausage, which is also a family favorite. They're gonna have spaghetti with sausage. They love the canned spaghetti sauce, the Hunt's canned spaghetti sauce, or the Del Monte. I forgot which one I bought. I go between the two, but my family loves that. I like to have a fresh spaghetti sauce, so I will make mine from scratch with crushed tomatoes, and I will share with you guys the recipe that I'm using to make that. It's also a recipe from this online. It's from actually one of the housewives from New Jersey. So it's a spicy kind of spaghetti sauce, and then I'm also going to make like the spicy shrimp that goes with it. And then I'm gonna put over egg noodles again, because I have egg noodles. I don't want to waste money. I want to put off egg noodles, but you can put over whole wheat pasta. But then my family's gonna have spaghetti with sausage, with the canned spaghetti and regular spaghetti sauce, because they like it that way, and I've given them my healthier option and they don't like it, so I'm gonna make that for them. And then Wednesday, you guys know, it's always breakfast for dinner night in my home. Thursdays is always leftover nights, and then Fridays is when we have like our fried food Fridays, because we always have like finger foods or something in front of the TV, and that's going to be my cheat meal day. And then we always like eat out or do something special on Saturday. So that's how my week is. Also, because it is the fall season, we are going to make a fall treat today, which is a pumpkin cheesecake muffins. It's oh my god, my family loves this. Everybody loves it. It's so easy to make, and it's so delicious. My girls even ask for it all year round. So we're gonna have that for our dessert of the week. So that is an overview of what we're gonna do today. Like I said, you're gonna get some meal ideas. You're gonna get some cleaning motivation, because we're gonna clean up at the end. So just come along with me, follow along with me, put your hair up in a bun, and let's get things done. So the first thing I did was I preheated my oven so that I can make the bacon in the oven for the barbecue bacon meatloaf. And I love making my bacon this way. I actually found this idea from Rachel Ray a while back. She shared it on her show one time, and I just love making my bacon this way because it's easy cleanup, and you don't have to worry about when you're cooking bacon and it's splattering everywhere and getting that grease all over your counters and all over your cabinets, and you don't have to worry about it popping and, you know, burning you. So I love making it this way. The only downside is that you can only fit like 8 slices on here. So if you're making it for a big crowd, you're gonna need 2 pans, but that's the only thing. But I love making it this way. And with the barbecue bacon meatloaf, you can make anywhere between 4 to 8 slices of bacon, depending on how much bacon you want. If you really want that bacon flavor and those pieces of bacon, I would say 8. But if you don't want it, you just want a little bit of flavor of it, I would say 4. I always make 6, and then I have 2 extras, because once my daughters smell the bacon, they want something to eat. So I always make extras so that they can nibble on it once they smell it. So always make extras if you know someone's going to eat the bacon. And then I'm going to move on to making the little sauce for my teriyaki chicken, which this is such an easy sauce to make, and I always have the ingredients on hand. And it's just, I love this teriyaki chicken. I've shared it with you guys on my channel before, but I actually skipped a step when I shared it with you guys before. I actually served it right out of the slow cooker without doing the last step. This takes a little, this recipe, you cook it in the slow cooker, but then it does have steps on the stove later on at the end, and you don't want to skip that step because it thickens up the sauce and it gives it more flavor, and it doesn't do it justice if you just take you eat the chicken teriyaki right out of the slow cooker without doing this final step. So make sure you always do the final step. But it's one of our favorites, and I like the fact that I can incorporate it to my healthy meals as well. The only thing that's like in here that's really like probably bad for me is probably like the brown sugar, but like I said, I always try to make healthier versions of the foods that I'm already eating, make healthier choices, brown rice instead of white, and then I'm gonna add a veggie to it. So that's to me, that's a tip for you if you ever want to start eating right and you don't want to do a drastic change because you won't stick to it. Just do slow changes. Just either swap out things, do brown rice, add more veggies to it. Still have your favorite things. Just try to incorporate more healthier substitutions with it. Now for this chicken teriyaki recipe, as you can see, I'm using frozen chicken thighs, like straight from the bag. And you can do this with the recipe. The only thing I would say is that you have to add a little bit more time. So if you're cooking this on low, I would add 1 more hour to your cook time in the slow cooker. Or if you're cooking on high like I did, I would add an extra 30 minutes. So you can use, thawed out chicken thighs, or you can use straight from the frozen ones like I did. I like thighs better than breast because I don't know, with this meal, it just gives it more flavor when you have thighs, but you can use chicken breast instead. So I decided to make my brown rice first because brown rice takes longer to cook than white rice, even in the Instapot. Like the brown rice takes 22 minutes to cook in the Instapot and the white rice only takes 6. So I wanted to knock that out and get that out the way before I cook the white rice for my family. And who else washes their rice before they cook it? Because that's something I grew up with. I don't know if that's a Puerto Rican mom thing that my mom used to do, but we always washed our rice before we cooked it. But I know that some people don't. So let me know in the comments down below. Do you wash your rice before you cook it, or do you just put it straight into the pot or wherever you're cooking and just cook that, just cook it that way without washing it? So the next thing I'm doing is, after I already got my crock pot meal ready and I have the bacon in the oven, I decided to do my fruits. And I always wash my fruits, and this week the girls only wanted grapes. Normally they want grapes and strawberries, but they only wanted grapes. And so that's my next step in my prepping, because what I do is I wash this and then I let it sit on the counter to kind of air dry all day, so that when I put them in their little containers, they're not wet. Because if you put fruit wet into the refrigerator, it's gonna go bad faster. So that's why I always wash it, and then I lay it out on a towel and let it air dry all day, and then I put the fruit away at the end of the day. So that way I'm putting it away dry. And I still put like a piece of napkin in the little container, so that way if there's any moisture, that napkin would absorb the moisture. So what I like to do is I like to give it a good rinse. Once I take everything off the vine, like I take all the grapes off the vine, I like to give it a little rinse. And then with a bowl, I like to add a little bit of vinegar and some water so that I could do kind of like a deeper clean of the grapes, or if it's strawberries as well. And then I just dump it in there, give it like a little, shake with my fingers, and I let this sit in this little mixture for only 5 minutes. I don't go longer than 5 minutes because the vinegar sometimes can mess up your fruit and make it turn bad. But I like the vinegar because it does kind of disinfect your fruit without using harsh chemicals. So that's why I like to do it, but don't ever have it longer than 5 minutes in there, sitting in there. And then I give it like another final little rinse, and then just put it on my towel to air dry. Now that the bacon's done, I'm moving on to prepping my barbecue bacon meatloaf. And I'm going to talk you guys through this one because this is the only one that doesn't have a recipe to it, because it was kind of like something I came up with myself. And so in this bowl, I have 1 pound of ground beef. And then I'm going to start crumbling 4 pieces of bacon first before I add the rest of my ingredients. And then I'll add the last 2 pieces of bacon on top. So because I made this in the oven, it's nice and crispy, so it's easy to crumble the bacon with my fingers. If you don't cook it all the way, it'll kind of be harder for you to break it into pieces to put it in here, because it will be kind of like still like wobbly. So that's why I like to make it crispy, because it makes it much easier to just crumble with my fingers and to get in there. And you can do big pieces, small pieces, whatever you like. So now I'm adding 2 eggs lightly beaten to it. You want to make sure you lightly beat it before you add it. And then I'm going to add just 1/4 cup of breadcrumbs. You can also add panko breadcrumbs if you want, but I'm just using regular breadcrumbs. And then I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce. I can never say that right. Worcestershire sauce. This always gives great flavor to any beef recipe. And then I'm adding 1/4 teaspoon of salt and pepper. And then you add 1/4 cup of your favorite barbecue sauce, whatever it is. I like to use the Sweet Baby Ray's. That's our family favorite. So you're going to just put 1/4 of it in this mixture, and then you're going to put some on top at the end when you cook it. Like when you put it in the oven to cook it, the last 5 or 10 minutes, you're going to put on the top, and then it's going to give like a nice caramelized thick sauce on top. And then I'm just mixing it with a spoon. Normally the best utensils to mix meatloaf or any meatballs is your fingers, but because my nails are longer right now, I don't want to mix it with my fingers. I just think that's just weird. I don't want to do that, even though I'd wash my hands. I just don't like to mix meat with my hands when I have long nails. I just don't like to do that. So I'm just using a spoon to mix everything together. But again, your hands are your best tools whenever you're mixing a mixture for meatloaf or meatballs. Now that the teriyaki chicken is done, I'm moving on to the final step of this recipe. And again, I will have it linked down below so you guys will know all the steps on what to do after this. But basically you take the chicken out, you strain the liquid to make like a thicker sauce, and then you chop up the pieces of chicken into either strips or like kind of like cubes. So they say in the recipe to, to chop it into cubes, but if you want to make this like a little bit more elegant and you want to keep the chicken thighs intact, you can add the chicken thighs back to this thickened sauce at the end and not chop it up. But I kind of like chopping up my chicken for my family because it makes it easier for them to just spoon this mixture on top of their rice and eat it that way. But if, like I said, if you want to make it like pretty and make it like Pinterest worthy or something like that, you can actually just keep these intact, add it back to the sauce, and then people can just plate it on top of their rice that way with it just being whole. But it just makes it easier for everybody to eat once if you chop it ahead of time for them, and then you put it back in the sauce. You can do it into strips or you could do it into cubes like the recipe said. I chopped it up into cubes, and like I said, it just makes it easier for me and my family when we're eating.
Till I get up, time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go.
And look how good this looks, you guys. This is such a great recipe to make, and it's a family favorite, and I have picky eaters, so you definitely need to try this recipe. You will not regret it. Now moving on to the pasta, I'm dropping some egg noodle pasta for the little spaghetti sauce that I'm going to be making for myself. It's called a snappy red sauce, and first I'm going to chop up some zucchini because I want to, like I said, I want to incorporate more vegetables into my meals, and so I think zucchini goes great with like a red sauce or any type of spaghetti sauce, so that's why I wanted to chop it up for myself, and I'm going to saute it as well. And then I'm going to be chopping up an onion to go with this snappy red sauce that I'm making. Now this recipe calls for a small onion, like a whole small onion for this kind of snappy red sauce. And when I was cutting it, it is a lot of onion. So for me, I don't mind it because I like the flavor that it gives the snappy red sauce that I'm making to have, this whole full small onion. But if you don't like onion that much, I would just use a half of an onion, or maybe even a fourth. But it really does give a lot of flavor on it. And once you saute it up and put in the sauce, you really don't taste chunks of it. I know a lot of people don't like chunks of, onion in their sauces. But this doesn't, you don't taste like the chunks of it because once you saute it, it kind of softens it up. It just gives it great flavor. But I'm going to use the whole, small onion in this sauce because that's what the recipe calls for. But like I said, you can use half an onion or a fourth of an onion. And this snappy red sauce, like I said, it's one of the recipes that I found from one of the housewives. It's kind of like a fresh tomato sauce that you can make with like a pasta dish. It is a chunkier sauce, so if you don't like a chunky sauce, I wouldn't say make this, but I kind of like that, so that's why I'm making it for my healthy meals. And like I said, it's because I'm making it from scratch and I am controlling what goes in it. I think it's a healthier option than using the canned sauce that I'm going to use for my family, which they like it more. They don't like this chunky sauce that I'm making, but this is like a really delicious sauce. It's like I think she's a Italian, and so most Italians, like real meals, they make their sauces from scratch, their spaghetti sauces from scratch, and this has so much flavor to it. And like I said, I like the fact that I can control what goes in it. Now you do put red pepper flake in this, like you see me, I just added to it red pepper flake. If you do not like spicy foods, you can omit this and not put it in there, but I love spicy foods. That's why I like this little snappy red sauce, is what it's called, and so that's what I love about it. And the shrimp that I'm making to go with it is actually called devil shrimp, and you add the red pepper sauce to that shrimp as well when you cook it separate, and so it makes it a real spicy meal. So like I said, if you don't like it that spicy, you can always control how much of, you know, the red pepper flake you put in it. But I will put both recipes down below, because there is a recipe for the snappy red sauce, and then there's another recipe for the deviled shrimp with angel hair pasta. And when you make the deviled shrimp with the angel hair pasta, in the recipe, it will tell you that you're going to use your sauce, and basically they're talking about the snappy red sauce. So the snappy red sauce, which you see me making now, goes with the dish that she created. That makes sense. It was 2 different recipes she made. Basically, she was sharing a recipe, and it was the deviled shrimp with angel hair pasta recipe, but she was also sharing her, you know, snappy red sauce from scratch. So you have to make the sauce first in order to make the deviled shrimp. So, but you can just make this pasta sauce, and then you can add chicken. But I love shrimp, and you really should try this sauce. Like I said, if you don't like chunky, don't try it, but I like it. So, but now I'm just gonna make the shrimp to go with my pasta. And like I said, these are 2 separate recipes, and I will have them both linked down below.
Swear we never say goodbye. Fall asleep to lullabies with something that I thought I'd never find. And what is right and what is wrong, and all I ever saw was love. But let's get lost in love tonight. Hear a second voice inside my head, it's telling me to stay the night again, and hold on to the words we always said would be forever, forever. Wait another day to clear my thoughts, so jump into a love that won't be forgotten, forever, forever.
So now it's time to prep my meals for me for this week. And these little containers that I actually got them from Walmart. I like using the glass containers because I feel better, and I feel like it's safer to reheat the glass containers as opposed to plastic ones. I do have the plastic containers for when I have like leftovers and things like that, because I always take the leftovers and put on a glass plate before I reheat it. But I like to have my prep meals in glass containers so that I could just put this whole glass container in there and reheat it in the glass. And it's especially good if you're packing stuff up for work, because then you can heat it up in the microwave at work with the glass containers. And here's the broccoli that I'm adding to my teriyaki chicken with the brown rice, so that it can make it a little bit more healthier, like I said. And all I did with this was like a bag of, I think it was Great Value, a bag of Great Value broccoli that I heated it up in the microwave. I didn't, you know, saute it. I didn't put in any water. I didn't cook it on the stove. I just heated it up in the microwave. And then once I heat up this whole plate, I'll heat everything up, and then I mix all the things together. And I've already tried this. It was so delicious. The sauce makes the rice taste delicious. It makes the broccoli taste delicious. And so now I have some meals prepped for me for this week, and I'm super excited because this motivates me more to eat better than to eat fast food while I'm doing this workout journey. And this is how the teriyaki chicken looked for my family. I wanted to share with you guys how it looked when I put over white rice. This is how they ate it, so that you guys can see kind of how the family's doing it. And now it's time to tackle the dishes. As you can see, it's a lot of dishes, you guys. But again, this is one big cleanup, and then I have a little bit of dishes throughout the week. But yeah, this is like the task that I have to do after all my prepping, but it's all worth it. And so I wanted to share with you guys all the dishes that come with prepping all these meals. And yeah, so now this is the start of some cleaning motivation. So just listen to the music and get some motivation to get up and clean something in your home right now. And don't feel like you have to do all this. I don't want to make these videos and make you guys feel like you have to do all this prepping. Even if you're just prepping one meal for the day before, that is an accomplishment enough. You don't have to prep all these meals like I do. You could do one at a time, and that's still something that you should be proud of. Do what you can, and if you can work up to prepping it like this to save you time, that's a win as well. But always do what you can and never compare yourself to somebody else. I hope that when you guys watch these cleaning motivation videos and these prep motivation videos, that it inspires you to get up and do some things, but it doesn't make you feel bad about yourself if you're not doing as much as the person that you see on YouTube or on TV. Never compare yourself if you can't do it. Sometimes like I said at the beginning of the video, during COVID time, a lot of people, even though COVID and when we were all, sheltered in place and people couldn't go nowhere, we kind of got in a rut. We kind of got lazy. And some people to this day, me included, are still not on a schedule and getting things done like we used to pre-COVID and shutdown times, because we shut down for a while and we got used to being home all the time, and it kind of just put us in a rut. And also with everything going on with COVID, it also puts us into a depression, because I know I'm worried. I have my kids in school now, and I worry every day that they're gonna go, that hopefully they don't catch anything and come back with it, and I worry that we might get some. I'm worried about people around me. So with everything that's going on with the world, it brings a lot of anxiety. It brings a lot of like destruction to our everyday lives. And like I said, some of us have still not gotten to a routine, me included. Like, I'm trying my best to get back into a routine of how I used to be productive. And I will tell you guys, even though you guys see these videos and you guys see that I'm very productive, I'm not 100% back how I used to be. I still have these moments where I just don't feel like doing anything, or I don't feel motivated. And I know it's because of all the stuff that's going on in the world right now, because I'm worried about things. And I know it's because when we all stayed home, I got used to just being home all day, and it put me in a lazy funk. And just know that you're not alone. If you are feeling that same way that I'm feeling, unmotivated, and just feeling like not doing anything, just know that you're not alone. There's still people that are still struggling with the COVID time, the COVID break where everybody was shut down and stuff. People are still not at their best, and that's okay. We're here to work, together. I hope, like I said, I hope all my videos motivate you guys and just help you guys on days when you just don't feel motivated. And that's my goal in my videos, not to make you feel bad, but to make you feel motivated, make you feel that you're not alone. Okay guys, so I am done with all my meal prepping, and everything went okay except for the meatball stroganoff. The meatball stroganoff. So the substitutions that I used did not turn out well. Normally, like, if I need to substitute butter and I want to make a healthier version, coconut oil seems to do the trick. But in this dish, it just didn't turn out right, and the dish did not taste good at all, and I just didn't like the flavors of it. So I did not put that footage in there for you guys, because it was something that just didn't turn out right. The recipe itself is not bad. It's just that my substitutions for it, my healthier substitutions for it, were not the best. So I do want to try this recipe again, and I'll share with you guys how I feel about it later on. I'm actually going to try it how it is, but I will put it in the description box below if you guys want to try it, because it seems like an easy recipe to make. But just the substitutions that I did just made it not taste well, because coconut oil is very it's a strong taste, and it's overpowering sometimes, and so it overpowered this dish. Sometimes it doesn't, but this time it overpowered this dish, and it just didn't taste right. So that's one of those substitutions that you got to be careful with when you substitute coconut oil instead of for butter, because it has a strong taste. But that's okay. I still have my other meal prep things that I did, and so I'll have, like I said, tonight we had the teriyaki chicken. I had the teriyaki chicken with my brown rice and broccoli, and then I have some for meal prep for the rest of the week. I have 2 more dishes for meal prep for the rest of the week for me. Tomorrow it will be the barbecue meatloaf that is already set up for me in the refrigerator, and then tomorrow when I take it out, I'll put it on the counter for a while so that it doesn't, so it can come to room temperature. Cook it at 350, and then the last 5 or 10 minutes I take the foil off. I put more barbecue sauce on top of it, and then let it cook for like 5 or 10 minutes without the foil, and then it gets like a kind of like a thicker coating of barbecue sauce on top of it. And then I serve it with mashed potatoes, and then I will just have like one of my dishes instead of that, because I'm not really a meatloaf person, but my family loves it. And then on Tuesday, I have like that spicy spaghetti sauce that I shared with you guys with the shrimp. That's what I'm gonna have. And then my family's gonna have just regular spaghetti, which really is just, I buy a pack of sausages from the store, I cut it up, saute it up, put a can of spaghetti sauce in it, dump some noodles, and that's it. That's all it is for that, and it takes me less than 30 minutes to make it, so I make it on that day. But the prepping was actually, as you could saw, it was a lot of steps to make the sauce that I eat from scratch, but it's so worth it because it's to me, it's like, it's a little bit healthier because you can control what goes into it. And then you have the onions, and then you have the fresh tomatoes and stuff like that. So that's why I like that, but my family doesn't. They like the canned stuff. So they have that. And like I said, breakfast for dinner night, leftover night, and then we'll have fried chicken. So I have all my meals prepped for this week. And then as you saw, I did all those dishes. And yes, it was a lot of prepping. And yes, it was a lot of dishes, you guys. But I am set for the week. And so this week with my girls, have a girl that my daughter, she's in cheer and she's in track, so she has track meets this week. She also has games to cheer at this week, and so we're in and out of the house all the time in the afternoon and during the days and stuff like that. So having my meals already set up, all the like the chopping, all the big parts, you know, the stuff that takes a lot of time, all that stuff is done today. So all I gotta do is pop it in the oven or pop it on the stove real quick and make my meals in less than 30 minutes. And because I used all of the big bowls and the big appliances today, all of those big dishes are done today, and I just have little dishes do throughout the week. So like I said, it's a lot to do, but it does save you so much more time during the week, and you have more time with your family as well. So I hope this video gave you guys some, you know, meal planning motivation, some cleaning motivation. I hope it inspired you to just get up and, you know, get things done if you didn't have, you know, you weren't in the mood to do it. You guys inspire me all the time because I know these videos inspire you guys, and I'll catch you guys in my next video. Bye guys. Hey guys, don't forget to click on the picture in the middle of the screen so you can subscribe to my channel and get notifications on all the new videos that I put out, and check out these other 2 videos that I have posted on my channel on either side of my picture. Have a great day.